This project is going to be converting this cargo trailer that I bought into a RV for touring the United States, national parks, and wherever we might end up. There's going to be a lot of technical tasks. You know, we're going to pimp this trailer out, you know, make it all high-tech, all snack tech. So the first thing I want to show you is so far we've gutted the interior. We've taken out all the paneling. On the outside I've mounted 2 solar panels. So I'll give you the cost breakdown of this so far. So for the trailer I got used from some guy, $1,900 Canadian. The solar panels were a cool $100 Canadian. They are 10 years old though. They've been on someone's roof for 10 years. So who knows how good they work. I've already done a short circuit test on them. They seem generally okay with some degradation probably, but that's fine, you know, 100 bucks. This trailer has a side door and that was necessary for how I'm going to do the internal layout, because this thing is 8 foot long by 5 foot wide inside, so there's not a lot of room. The space has to be reused as well as possible. Okay, we can't have any wasted space. Everything has to do double function, triple function. So the solar panels, I already spent 2 days mounting them to the roof. I will show you how I did that. Cost of mounting it to the roof is $0. I already had all these parts. The neighbor gave me some of this aluminum. I had some of it already in the garage. The way it mounts, there's studs every 12 inches here on the inside, and I've made these posts with some aluminum and then plywood and a piece of rubber for sealing it. That goes up to some aluminum up there, and then the solar panels are mounted to that. When I picked up the solar panels, I thought they would be small, but it turns out they were huge. No big deal, but it turns out they were just about the width of the trailer, so I was able to, with a lot of filing and playing around with this, getting it just right so that it's nice and flush like this. And if we go on the top, you can see how that looks. Almost the whole roof is covered with solar panel. I did have to move the front one forward because of that vent over there. But the girlfriend said she needed the vent. She wanted to look at the stars, so, you know. These are actually monocrystalline solar panels, so I scored quite a deal on these. The plan is to have a kitchen in the back area that you can access from the back. That's what a lot of people have been doing online. But our kitchen is also going to be able to be used from the inside. And I have a 3D model of this, and I'll show you what I mean. Here's a sink I got for 25 bucks. I was originally going to get a bar sink that's a little narrower, but I opted to get a little bit bigger one, because that way you can fit a whole pot or pan inside without having to splash water everywhere. Now they say on the internet you should not be a victim of fishing, but today you're going to be a victim of fishing, because I'm going to show you how I'm fishing these wires from the solar panel through the roof. I've drilled 2 little holes. Okay, now that the wires are nicely fished, so I have one post over here, I have one post over here. This is still a little bit flexing a bit more than I'd like, so I'll probably add another post over here. On the other side I have the problem where there's the door, so I don't have the post here. So what I did is I just used 2 posts here, and these provide the rigidity in this direction, whereas here I just have a little post, and this just supports the panel up and down, and that seems to work quite well. It's quite stiff. Now the front here is where the fridge is going to go, and the propane tank if we decide to use propane. I'm still not sure. So here's the wires from the solar panels coming out of the roof. There's one here, there's one there. So with solar, these are running at 24 volts, and it ends up being quite a high current. It's about 5 amps right now if I short circuit it, and at maximum power point it's a little higher. So 6 amps now when I short circuit these panels. So you're going to want to keep the runs really short, because the longer your wires, the more drop you have. So I'm going to be putting a charge controller and batteries somewhere in this area. If we short circuit this, it's nice and sunny out right now. Nice sparks, solar sparks. So with these power cables going through the hole, the aluminum, this is a thin aluminum sheet, and there's a risk here that over time this will abrase through the insulation and short out. Somebody once gave me some good advice, is to use a rubber. So the neighbor gave me some rubber, and I'm using it here to provide a bit of a seal to prevent this from moving around and prevent this from contacting the aluminum sheet. So I'm also going to be putting some caulking all the way around here, so that should be enough to keep the water out, but we will see. It's another day and a lot has changed. The bed is almost done. There's 2 storage compartments down here. There's deep storage compartments. This middle piece here is fixed, nailed down. Then there's the utility area here. going to be a water tank here, and solar panel batteries, solar panel controller battery is going to go over there. I know you guys are dying to see the nerdy stuff that's coming. Oh, there's another storage compartment up here. Stuff that we don't access it often goes in there. All this forms the main part of the bed. The rest of the bed is going to be, going to switch to the wide angle lens here, you know. I switched to that wide angle lens. There's, you know, that wide angle lens that makes everything look bigger. You know, things look huge. Look how big it looks. It's like there's tons of space. It's like those real estate agents, they always use the wide lens. Make a 400 square foot house look like a mansion. Looks can be deceiving, but this is a tiny little trailer. Got Skylar up here. Hello. So the main part I'm working on now is the desk / rest of the bed. The desk is gonna be here, and it's gonna lower to become the rest of the bed. That's the key to this whole thing, okay? If this doesn't work, it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a slide up and down mechanism, so I've been cutting some board. I'm trying to hide the whole slide up and down mechanism in between the studs. We're gonna have a custom mattress all in here, and then there'll be a separate removable part that goes on top of the desk when the desk is full of them.